Hello guys, welcome back to Functional Studies 101. Today we have an interesting equation to solve. We are asked to solve for the values of a and b, for which the limit as x tends to negative infinity of the square root of x squared minus x plus 1 minus ax minus b, that gives us 0. What are the values of a and b satisfying that? So stay tuned as we review the solution. It is a very simple exercise for 5 marks. So if you are new to this channel, I am your boy Temboom48 presenting the scripts, and to get to me you can use the number on the screen via WhatsApp. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that whenever new uploads are made available you will not be left out. So this is still an exercise under the study of functions, just a subsection of it, and we're going to see that. So without wasting much of your time, let's get into business. So looking at this function, how do we evaluate the limit of this function? Okay, how do we evaluate the limit of the square root of x squared minus x plus 1 at infinity? We are evaluating the limit of a radical quadratic like this at infinity. You are evaluating what? You are looking for what? The equation of what? The oblique asymptotes. This is a special exercise. So I'll begin by calling my function f of x to be equals to x squared minus x plus 1. We are going to simplify f of x further. So f of x can also be written as, you complete the square of this, x squared minus x plus 1. When you complete the square, you have half. You just write down your x since the coefficient is 1. So you have half the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x is negative 1. Half of that is negative 1 on 2. When you take half of that, you square it. Then now you just subtract now the square of the this number that you are seeing here, 1 over 2 square. When you square it is 1 over 4, so minus 1 over 4 plus this one. That's just a shortcut of how to complete the square of a quadratic. Hope you understand. Practice makes perfect. So simplifying that gives us square root of x minus a half other squared plus 3 on 2, because negative 1 on 4 plus 1 gives us 3 on 4. So we can further rewrite this as the square root of x minus a half other squared multiplied by, that's we factor out the square root, we factor out x minus a half other squared. Okay, so plus, so when you remove it from here, it will be 1 plus 3 divided by 4 into x minus a half other squared. So when you expand this, you bring us back to this, so I'll not change anything. So from there we know that the square root of x by definition is the square root of x squared is the absolute value of x. Similarly, the square root of x minus a half other squared will be the absolute value of x minus a half. So x minus a half absolute value times square root of this part is our function f of x, as you can see there. So moving on to the next part of the solution. So we have shown that this is f of x, this is the f of x. So finally, that's f of x. Finally, f of x equals to that. Looking at this exercise, the absolute value of x, this part, we know it has two parts, two definitions. It is equal to itself when this quantity is greater than 0, and when it is equal to negative itself when this quantity is less than 0. So that is happening when x is greater than 0. X minus a half is greater than 0, which is equivalent to saying that x is greater than a half. And down here, it is equal to negative of itself, so negative x plus a half when this x minus a half is less than 0, which is saying that x is less than a half. So following this definition, okay, the limit as x tends to negative infinity, okay, of this function here, when x is tending to negative infinity and you square it, the denominator becomes very large. And when you divide any number by a very large number, the number approaches 0. So this part of the function approaches 0. So you are left with the square root of 1. So the square root of 1 times this limit here, the square root of 1 is just 1 times the absolute value of x minus a half. Now at infinity, negative infinity, we are in this zone. Okay, we are in this bound, this zone, this region. So it means that the function, this absolute value x minus a half, absolute value of that will take negative x plus a half times the square root of 1, which is 1. So that will give me negative x plus a half. Okay, so that's the limit of this part. Now looking up on this equation here, we were given that the square root of f of x, because I've let this be f of x, minus this quantity ax minus b is equal to 0. We have to solve that equation. When you move these terms this way, on the right hand side becomes ax plus b. So comparing that to be with ax plus b gives us directly my a to be -1 and b to be the constant term, which is just a half. So that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, share and like the video. See you guys in the next tutorial. This is Tengun48 signing off. I love you all. Bye bye.